Hello and welcome to another edition of The Kickout, the final word in pro wrestling. This is a product of Card Subject to Change, our offshoot podcast here. Just a brief talking about different topics in wrestling. I am the Wizard CZ. I would, of course, have to welcome my partner and co-tag team champion, Mr. Never Wrong, Nick Bull. Nick, how you feeling tonight?
Feeling good, man. These clocks setting back has got me in a funk.
Yeah.
It just gets dark so early now, and you know that living in the Midwest, and it seems like it's 3 hours later than it actually is. Taking me a little while to acclimate myself to it, but hey, I'm awake.
I think I texted you that exact thing a few hours ago. It's about 4:15, 4:30. I'm looking, it's starting to get dark. I'm like, man, it feels like it's 8 o'clock already.
It does. It absolutely does. But we're glad we're here. It's midweek as we broadcast this, and we're so glad that you either found us here on the Kickout or through Card Subject to Change. Last episode we had the Pro Wrestling Pitchman on. Cole Kaiser. He explained to us his gimmick, and that was pretty. We had a good time, a lot of laughs with that. But we're doing the Kickout now, CZ, and I got to ask you, what do you want to talk about?
Man, we try to keep this as topical as possible while still having a good thing to talk about. This past Friday on SmackDown, for the first time in years and years, we saw a banned move hit on SmackDown on WWE TV. If you don't know what I'm talking about, go back and watch SmackDown, particularly the segment between Randy Orton and Kevin Owens, where a hugely vicious pile driver was hit on Randy Orton, and he was stretchered out of the arena because of it. Obviously, that's all part of the show, but there's a reason that some of the moves we're going to talk about were banned, right, Nick?
Yeah, I think, the pile driver being banned in WWE for so long, as a Stone Cold Steve Austin fan, I think back to SummerSlam 97, right? Mm-hmm. Where Stone Cold slipped in Owen Hart's grip and was dropped on his head, and they had to call an audible at the end of that match there for it to end, because Stone Cold had a stinger and had limited feeling in his arms and stuff. So yeah, was that? With let's take Kane and Undertaker out of this, right?
Right.
Let's take them out of it, because at some point they have done a variation of the pile driver or the tombstone pile driver. What was the last time we seen a pile driver in WWE before SmackDown the other night? Can you recall? Man. I don't know. I don't know. If our fans know, let us know. But it was a pretty big deal to see a pile driver on a show.
Yes. When I saw that, my eyes bulged out of my head. I'm like, did that really just happen? That they can't. That's a move that they banned. They can't do that. But it was right for the moment, and it played well into where Kevin Owens is going right now. It was a well done. It was very well done, and I thought it was a good point to pull that out right when they did.
I'll tell you what, CZ, I hope this is something. This could be a double-edged sword, and hear me out here. Having KO give that pile driver to Randy Orton, those are two vets working. Those are two vets that have worked for years. Those are two vets that know each other, and obviously Randy Orton's comfortable enough for KO to deliver the pile driver.
Right.
Having that move banned so long and seeing it happen is such a big thing to see. I hope this doesn't turn into the Canadian destroyer of AEW, where we see it in every match and it's used by everybody and it's ineffective and you just roll your eyes at the move, as I do the Canadian destroyer. Okay. I hope that's not what this turns into. And I don't think it's going to.
But no, I see your point. I agree completely. I'll talk about a move that's been a favorite of mine for a long time that you didn't see until Cody returned to the WWE, and that's the Vertebreaker.
Yep.
Of course, we saw, was it Hangman who hit it on Swerve during their big ridiculous cage match onto
a cement block.
onto a ccement block.
Yes.
But it's a variation of a pile driver. It's behind the back, and you honestly, I can see why it was banned for so long, because you can't see your opponent. You really don't know what position they're in, other than just kind of feeling them out.
Well, that match was banned, or that move was banned in WWE, correct?
Correct.
And then Cody used it recently. I mean, we don't really know of, I guess, with AEW's existence of being around for 5 years, we don't really know of a ban list by them. But when you see WWE doing this pile driver thing, I like that they did this here, and here's why. Obviously, Randy Orton needed some time off, right?
Right.
Let's go do this real quick on TV. Let's make it look great. And it's going to be legit. Like, people are going to buy into it. And they have. They really have. Like, it wasn't hokey. It was treated serious. Orton was stretchered out of the ring. And, people are talking about it. We got a reaction out of it. So, I'm fine with this. As long as it does, we don't see it every week, every match. And,
right.
and I think WWE has the presence of mind not to do that. It's definitely a devastating move. It's definitely a move where a lot can go wrong. But at the same time, you had two pros the other night, KO and Randy Orton, doing it, and it looked amazing.
And here's my thought. You said you hit the nail right on the head, not wanting to see it every match, every move. I kind of equate it to another move that was banned, and that is Randy Orton's punt kick. That was banned after Randy inadvertently gave Vince a concussion, but it wasn't something that he did every single match. It was something that he used to drive a point home with specific other people.
Yep. And
I see the pile driver with KO kind of going the same way as the punt kick, if that makes sense.
Okay. I'm fine if that is now kind of KO's breaking point move. That's the move he wants to use to get something across. I'm fine with that. I just hope we don't see it a lot, and that remains to be seen. That remains to be seen. Pile drivers as a whole, we really haven't seen a lot of them. I know Toni Storm over in AEW has a variation of it with her. What is the name of her? Is it Storm?
Storm Zero.
Storm Zero is kind of a variation of it. MJF kind of does a variation of it off the ropes, the Heat Seeker. But it's, the pile driver itself has kind of been put away. I think it's with all that, the Randy Orton punt was really hot around the time of all the NFL and the concussion and the CTE talk. So that punt kind of getting eliminated around that time. Of course, Vince got hit with it and it hit with it legit. I understand. Maybe now we will see these moves, speaking from the WWE side of things, trickled back into circulation, and only done by those who are established on the roster or guys who are working with each other, who have worked with each other for many years and,
right.
Sign off the okay on it.
Right. I completely agree. It has to be something that is not overdone.
Yes.
It has to be that subtle, like you said it best, the breaking point move for Kevin Owens. The oh my God, I can't win this match. I'm going to have to do something drastic. Bam! Pile driver.
Right. And maybe that's what these banned moves will turn into. It is just being used in those occasions. And I guess that's going to remain to be seen. I mean, this is so cliche, but it feels like a new day now with WWE and the TKO and, being able to do things that weren't done before under the McMahon regime. We're seeing different ways of doing things and the more backstage stuff when people are arriving at the buildings. It's a different look. everything's different. It's good. And I just hope they continue to ride this wave and not ruin it by, doing too many of these band moves. Just let them in a little bit at a time and just let it go from there. But it's a fun time to be a wrestling fan with this stuff. And I didn't think we'd ever see pile drivers used in angles again in WWE, but here we are. So what's old is new again, as they say, partner.
Indeed. And it'll be interesting to see. I know there's a list of moves that had been banned that I've slowly kind of trickled back into existence, like the Burning Hammer. You see that in a tag team form when it was Pete Dunne and Tyler Bate. The Birmingham Hammer.
The Birmingham Hammer, yes.
The big one, of course, that's kind of been in and out is the diving headbutt.
For obvious reasons, that kind of falls under that brain damage, CTE, NFL concussion suit type of deal. And of course, we know who was famous for the diving headbutt. I'll say his name here, Chris Benoit. And of course, WWE wants to steer themselves away as far away, from that move, that association with fans as possible.
Yeah. But yeah, it'll be interesting to see where we go from here. What comes back, what stays away. And like you said, hopefully it doesn't turn into a let's pull it out every second, every day.
Right.
We don't need another triple crossroads situation here.
No, God, we don't want that. Heck no.
You're going to have an angry wizard if we see that.
Yeah, that's
angry.
Right. That's right. You want to get him riled up, just have Cody do 3 crossroads in a row. And the wizard he is whizzing. Let's just put it that way. We are in the wait and see approach here with these band moves. Reach out to us. Hit us up on socials here, either at the Kickout or the Card Subject to Change. Talk about what move that may be banned that you would like to see back in wrestling lore being used, by WWE, or maybe even AEW for that sake, used by the big guys. What's coming up on the newest episode of Card Subject to Change, CZ?
Well, we've got another new guest coming into the studio. We're both familiar with him through SCW Pro, but he is also prominent in Iron Spirit, AAW in Chicago. We are welcoming one Shane Boucher into the studio, and we'll hear all about his journey and maybe get him to talk a little bit about being thrown off a balcony in Iowa City.
I'm sure we'll touch on that. I mean, we don't mean to bring up any past trauma here or no, but that's definitely a unique moment in SCW lore. We'll have Shane Boucher in studio. We will break that down. I'm excited to get Shane in the studio, a guy that I enjoy watching when I go to shows. And that's a guy we've kind of said under our breath to each other, we got to get him on the show. We finally get him on the show next week on the Card Subject to Change. So tune into that one. New episode with Shane Boucher. Of course, you can find the Kickout every Wednesday here at 6 p.m. We appreciate you tuning into that. Hit us up on socials. We love to hear from you guys. Like, follow, subscribe, leave a review. Whether it's good or bad, leave a review. Let us know what we need to do. Reach out to us. Like I said, we love talking wrestling with our fans.
Yes.
But for the here and now, this has been the Kickout, the final word in pro wrestling.
This has been a For Frequency's Sake Podcast Network production. For more great content, subscribe to For Frequency's Sake on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter.